Liz here from LizzyAlta.com, as always teaching you how to get a tighter body on a tight schedule. So today I am not going to teach you how to be a Ninja Turtle here. This stick, you'll see what it's for in a second. I'm showing you how to do a kettlebell swing. Kettlebell swing is something a lot of people do wrong. And when you do this incorrectly, you really run the risk of injuring yourself, mostly in the lower back, but all kinds of other places too. So before you even attempt to pick up a kettlebell and do the swing, you find a stick, okay? And it doesn't matter, you could be a broom, I pulled this out of the garage, and get it behind you and have it attached to your head and to your lower back, okay? So stand with your feet about hip-width apart, and if you've ever done a deadlift before, this is going to be very similar to a deadlift. I have a video on how to do deadlifts, which you can click the little annotation there to go watch that if you want to check that out really quickly. But I want you to practice first leaning back and thrusting forward. So let me explain how that is. Notice the bar, the rod, whatever it is that you're holding, does not come off of your head or your back. So you're gonna start by sending your hips back and then bending your knees slightly and then pressing forward through your hips and squeezing your cheeks. So at the beginning of the motion, your abs should be in tight, your hips should be pressed forward, and your cheeks should be squeezed in nice and tight. Then you're gonna break at the hips first, send your hips back, your cheeks squeeze in this position, your knees bend slightly. So practice this motion and get really good at this motion. Your weight comes back into your heels at the bottom here. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in your hamstrings if you're doing it properly. And this is gonna set you up to do a really great swing motion without compromising your lower back. So once you get that down, by the way, really don't skip that step, okay? Once you get that down, you can start with the actual kettlebell, and I also recommend trying it with a lightweight kettlebell first, again, so you do not risk injury. So here's the starting position. So there's a couple things I want you to notice. My hips are back, my abs are tucked in, my shoulders are down and away from my ears, and my spine is neutral. So you should be gazing forward but slightly down. You don't want to be looking up, you don't want to have your neck cranked, you want to be right here. Begin with the kettlebell on the ground. It's going to swing back, and you pop your hips forward. A couple great cues here are keep the kettlebell above your knees if you can. So it shouldn't be coming all the way down here. This is more of a deadlift than a squat at the bottom. So what I don't want to see you do is you're not squatting down and then pulling this up with your arms. Your arms are actually not doing any of the work. It's the momentum of the snap forward in your hips that's bringing the kettlebell up. It's not coming from your arms. So if you feel yourself pulling with your arms, that is a sure sign that you're not doing it properly. Another great tip for you, we'll start over again here. At the top, to squeeze your abs as if you're doing a plank exercise. So there will actually be this moment when you feel the momentum, literally just lifting your arms up, and then it just comes back down and forward. So it's really all about, this movement is all about that snap forward in the hips. So if you're doing this properly, you're definitely gonna feel that here in the front of your abs and in your hips and in your cheeks, because you're really squeezing and snapping forward. So we'll do it one more time. Exhale on the way up, shoulders stay back, and you're snapping at the hips. And to quote one of my clients, this does feel like a really inappropriate exercise if you're doing it right. That's how to do a kettlebell swing. Again, it's a complicated movement. There are a couple different steps. If you've never done it before, make sure you practice that deadlift motion first. If you have any questions, leave a comment below the video. If you are an online client, send your questions directly to support. If you found this helpful, go ahead and like it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you in the next video.